All right, class. So this is an explanation video for handout number 16, question number 6, I believe. This is an extra practice problem that we didn't have time to talk about in class, but I think it's a really good problem. I'm pretty sure I stole this from the textbook, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so you might run into it in the text as well. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a great problem. It has us thinking about molar mass and moles and grams and sort of how to put all that together. And I really like this problem because it's not something that we've really run into before, and it gives us a chance to talk about problem-solving strategies and how to go about organizing your work and really addressing a problem like this for the first time. So if I was going to do this problem for the first time and I hadn't really looked at it, the first thing I would do is just organize my information. So I'd start by reading the question. The molar mass of a theoretical element X is 33.42 grams per mole. So this is giving us information about some element X. And I'm just going to organize that, 33.42 grams per mole. And we have 27.22 grams of this element X. So 27.22 grams. Now right away, when I see this type of information, I know I can use this to solve for the moles of X. If I've got a mass and I've got a molar mass, I know that I could combine those in such a way to solve for the moles of X. Now this is organization information that I'm getting or I'm dealing with even before I've actually even finished reading the question, right? So I'm just sort of taking it piece by piece. Let's organize what we have, and then we'll sort of loop back around to figure out what we should do next. Element X combines with 84.10 grams of another theoretical element, Y. So maybe here I'll write Y, 84.10 grams, to form a compound X2Y. X2Y. Calculate the molar mass. So this is the question. So finally, right, I haven't even got to the question yet. I've still organized my information until I get calculate the molar mass of element Y. And then I'm going to rewrite that. Grams per mole of element Y equals question mark. This is what we are looking for. That's our ultimate goal. So then I might spend some time thinking about, well, how would I go about solving this? What information do I need to actually solve for the grams per mole of element Y? I already actually have a number of grams, but I need to figure out what the number of moles of Y that's present in my situation is. So that's really what this question is asking is, how many moles of Y are present? Moles of Y equal question mark. So this is really my primary goal. Now, I noticed from earlier, so now is where we have to sort of step back, right? We have to step back and try to figure out, okay, based off of what the information that's given, based off of what I'm looking for, can I sort of map out a way to get from here to here, right? And when you're first starting out doing this, sometimes you're gonna go the wrong way. You're gonna get lost. You're gonna get frustrated. That's okay. You sort of need to sort of say, that's okay. I know that's gonna happen from time to time. Let's restart. Reestablish and try to find our way forward. So, looking at this information, I noticed moles of X, moles of Y. I know that I can already solve for moles of X. So really, the question is, how do I go from this moles of X to moles of Y? Now, I know that I can use the mole-to-mole ratio, and down here, I've got that mole-to-mole ratio. So what this is telling me is that 2 moles of X will equal 1 mole of Y. For every 2 moles of X, I'm going to have 1 mole of Y. That's my mole-to-mole ratio in my molecular formula for this compound. And this I can use as essentially a conversion factor to convert from moles of X into moles of Y, which will ultimately lead me to my final answer. So again, I still have not done really any calculations. I'm just mapping out a plan, right? And once I have that plan, then I'm going to sort of put it into practice. So let's go ahead and put it into practice. 27.22 grams of X times 1 mole of X for every 33.42 grams of X. Grams of X will cancel. This will tell me how many moles of X I have, right? So this is just using that given information. And if I calculate that, I end up with 0.8145 moles of X. Now to convert from moles of X into moles of Y, I'm going to use this conversion factor. So let's just move this up a little bit. 0.8145 moles of X times 1 mole of Y for every 2 moles of X. equals 0.4072 moles of Y. So I'm using this multiple ratio essentially as a conversion factor, right? It's saying that every 1 mole of X, or really every 2 moles of X, should have 1 mole of Y. So the ratio of X to Y should be 0.8145 to 0.4072. Or another way to say that would be 2 to 1, right? It's a 2 to 1 ratio. This number is twice as big as this number. So this is the number of moles of Y that I had in my 84.1 grams, right? If we go back in and revisit the question, this sample of element X combines with 84.1 grams of another theoretical element Y to form this X2Y compound. So to figure out my grams per mole, that's going to equal 84.10 grams of Y divided by my 0.4072 grams of Y, and that equals 206.5 grams per mole of Y, which is my, taking it all the way back to the beginning, my molar mass. What I'm actually looking for, grams per mole of Y equals question mark. That's my grams per mole of Y. So hopefully you find that helpful, going through sort of my thought process, the organization process, and really showing my work, right? This is what all of your work should look like. It should not look like random numbers written down and then some scratch offs and arrows and whatever, right? It should be easy to follow. I can see my organization. I can see here I'm starting the process. I should actually cross out my units here to show that. This is what it should look like. Now, this is a study tool, right? Now I can take this and I can say, okay, I know that this is the correct answer. Let's teach my brain, hey brain, this is how you do this problem. If you just move on, right? If you just get to the answer and you move on, you're depriving your brain of actually learning, hey, this is how you do this. So once you get to this point and you have the right answer, spend a little bit of time going back through, okay, why did I do this? What was my organization? How did I take these words, right, and end up with this process? That's going to be more important for us as we move forward. All right.